Oh, well, excuse the hell out of me. Okay. DC, I see you. All right, we'll back off. We'll back off. Y'all can do it. Oh, damn, hot. Okay, we feel you. Okay. YouTubers, gamers, and moviegoers, what's going on, guys? I'm Messiah, this is Messiah Entertainment, and today we are reviewing Wonder Woman. Oh my god. Guys, this movie is the newest of the DC lineup, which in recent times has seemed a little shaky, both in the film area and in the behind the scenes. Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, despite me liking both movies for what they were, admittedly had problems, and then behind the scenes, Flash has been getting rewrites and directors have been dropping off a project left and right, and things just kind of seemed like they were almost a mess. So, you know, when we see a DC movie coming out or a trailer, with the exception of, I think, myself, a lot of people come out kind of worried, but, you know, this new Wonder Woman, I gotta hand it to him. Okay, let's backtrack for a second. This movie is obviously about the titular character, Wonder Woman, Diana, Princess of Themyscira. She's an Amazon warrior. Obviously, this takes place way before her appearance in Batman v Superman. It takes place during World War I, actually. This pilot named Steve Trevor, who's a spy for British intelligence, crash lands near her island, Themyscira. He ends up being followed by a bunch of Germans who fight it out with the Amazons. Through this, she learns that World War I is going on and that the humans that she's sworn to protect are, their world is actually kind of crumbling. So she feels that need to have to go out and try to help the humans stop this war. Her, Steve Trevor, and with the help of a few of Steve Trevor's other friends, all go out and they all try to embark in this adventure. Now, I gotta say, one of the things I really liked about this movie was the fact that we're seeing a much younger Diana Prince. Obviously, in the earlier, in Batman v Superman, she seems very experienced. You know, she seems almost more experienced than our two titular heroes in that movie. She seems like she's more experienced than Batman and Superman. But in this one, we see a kind of more naive Wonder Woman, someone who believes in nothing but peace and hope. And if we just kill this one bad guy, we can end the war. And you know, when she's introduced to our world, you know, she kind of is shell-shocked. That's not the way things really work. People are just kind of bad, you know? Not that the darkness in the other DC movies wasn't warranted. I mean, just like in the comic books, there's dark comic books, like Batman books, and then there's like really light ones. But to see this one in the DC universe, it's nice to see just a little bit of contrast. Because, you know, we're seeing some scenes where she really does some great stuff. She saves a lot of lives. And you really just almost feel like in your seat just kind of giving her a small clap, because she really does like inspire the crowd and really, you know, is kind of like a symbol of hope for the people who were suffering there. So it was really nice to see that. I mean, at the core of this movie, it's just somebody who really believes that people can be good, and that is so freaking awesome. I really liked seeing her just really kind of not understand, you know, some of the nonsense that we may take is like, oh, well, obviously they have to sacrifice 100 soldiers there so that they can save some more lives over there. She doesn't understand that logic. She's like, no, we're gonna try to save them and we're gonna try to save everybody, okay? She doesn't understand this whole cold hard calculus of war, and I like that. I mean, the villain, he was better than a lot of, I gotta say this, better than quite a few of Marvel's villains. I mean, we all know that Marvel has this kind of issue of, you know, weak kind of villains, probably as a stepping stone to a much bigger one that we'll probably see in Infinity War with Thanos. But this one was pretty strong in his own right. He was great physically, and his mentality and his mindset, his ideas, they made sense in a way, you know, and they really conflict Diana in trying to think, do the humans really deserve for us to protect them when they do such cruel things? You know, he's trying to prove how evil humanity can be, and she's trying to prove that no, they're actually really good people, but then there's a lot of examples to prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So I always found that, you know, that was a really smart, I think, way to kind of go about it. The villain I was totally into, both his psychology and his physicality. I thought he was a dope villain. Also, did I talk about the comedy? Because there's some great comedy in this movie. I gotta admit, like, this had the whole theater going at it. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't even feel like a DC movie to a certain degree, which is great to have different types of movies all in the same universe, as opposed to it all feeling the same. You know, you'll have different types of things, and I really think that's great. But the comedy in this movie is so funny in a lot of places. Chris Pine's character gets a lot of laughs. Diana trying to fit into our world gets a lot of laughs. I mean, it was just so well done. The action was great. There was maybe one or two like shots where I was like, that kind of looked clay. But I mean, it didn't take me out of the movie, and the rest of it I thought was really solid. When Wonder Woman like rages out and she starts going ham on those soldiers, it's really freaking cool. Like she gets down. Like I'm talking like bursting through buildings and knocking down 10 dudes in a room. Yeah, you know, I thought she was super dope. There's like this little band of soldiers that she has follow her into combat, and I hate to draw a comparison to obviously Captain America: The First Avenger, because the whole time period peace thing, obviously, but they're kind of like the Howling Commandos were to Captain America, except these guys I thought were really interesting, whereas the Howling Commandos, you didn't really hear much from them. They were kind of in the background and you didn't hear about each individual character as much. These, you kind of go into each individual one, and you know, I thought they were all really well done. I was invested in all. There was a few moments where I thought, hey, this may get a tad bit corny, but I gotta admit, no, the way they took the scenes that I thought may have gotten a little corny, it actually made sense. So, you know, I have to give them congratulations on that one. I mean, I was just so impressed with this movie. But upon going into it, you know, I came in there kind of cautious. I always walk into every superhero movie excited. You know, I walked into Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, super excited to see it, and I walked into this one super excited to see it. But then I was kind of cautious, like in the back of my head, oh, what if this isn't exactly what we were hoping for? But no, this movie was dope as all hell. This was a solid superhero movie, one of the best DC movies, and I'm not just talking about DCEU like Man of Steel on, I'm just talking about DC movies in general. It's better than some Marvel movies. You know, I gotta give them props when props is due. You know what I'm saying? We always take the chance to look at DC and be like, oh man, you're trying too hard, you're trying to reach up to Marvel. No, they did a great job. And before we stop, I gotta talk about Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot, people were giving her problems when she first got casted. Oh, she's too this, oh, she's too that. She was perfect. The sort of exotic, sort of or foreign sort of accent that she has fits perfectly with the fact that she's not from like America or anything. You know, I felt like it was perfect. She's from this sort of utopia that's closer, I guess, to Europe than it is other places. It makes sense that she would have that accent. It was acted very well. You know, and I saw that you could see this from Batman v Superman, but she is able to really just shine here. You know, everybody was like, Wonder Woman was great in Batman v Superman, but we didn't see enough of her. This one, you see nothing but her, and she absolutely kills it. It was great movie. Absolutely love this movie. It was so great. I gotta give it up to DC. You know, they're starting to step their game up, which makes me super hopeful. And I mean, once seeing the trailer for Justice League, I was already on board. You can see my trailer reactions for it. I want to see DC do well. So when they do movies like this that really just get everybody into it, and you're just loving the character, and you're loving the action, you're loving the story, I gotta give him props where props is due. This definitely one of the tops of the year. If DC continues down this track, I think we may be seeing some really great stuff. I like the fact that Wonder Woman was kind of very hopeful and whatnot, and it makes sense that, you know, just like like I said before, in the comic books, there's dark storylines like in the Batman comic books, and there's more brighter storylines like in Superman and Wonder Woman's comic books. If we see stuff like that, and all these different directors taking it in different directions, but just making the strongest movie they can, I think we'll have some good stuff on our hands. It's great to hear that like Aquaman's gonna be kind of like this horror movie-ish sort of thing with James Wan. You know, Zack Snyder has, of course, his iconic style of a big action, you know, get-together sort of thing. I guess now with Joss Whedon coming on board. And then, you know, with this movie, and then with Batman, of course, Matt Reeves coming on, this is probably gonna be a lot darker. But then, you know, you'll have your hopeful movies like this one. Maybe we'll get a little bit of like stuff like this in the next Man of Steel movie. However, I gotta commend DC. I would most definitely recommend you guys go run out and check this movie out. I honestly feel like watching it again. And I've watched all the DC movies multiple times, and I really like Man of Steel, but ever since Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, I've wanted to rewatch those movies, but only for the sense of like, you know, watching the Ultimate Edition, or really just trying to understand some things that I didn't understand the first time. This one was just so good that I just want to watch it again. You know what I mean? Like that has to be commended. Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, the rest of the cast and crew did an absolutely amazing job with this movie. I'm so glad to hear Patty Jenkins is on for the second Wonder Woman movie. I can't wait to see what she does with that, and I can't wait to see what else DC is doing. Okay, it's gonna be freaking awesome. I know it. I'm super excited for Justice League and to see Wonder Woman in action once again. Let's get it. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys got your own. Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you guys think of Wonder Woman? Did you love it? Did you hate it? As always, guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, guys. Please check me out on my other channel, Directors JXM. We got cool skits and short films for you guys, including To Kill a Hero, a web series that I'm doing. I uploaded the first 2 episodes not too long ago. Be sure to check that out. I run a channel with my boy Johnny Lee. He has his own channel on JXB Entertainment. Be sure to check that out. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. On the Beside, this is Beside Entertainment. See you guys next time. Peace. That joint was really good. I'm considering a poster. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a smaller one. I don't know. But that was bravo, DC. Bravo.